Hello students, welcome back to our session. Today I am going to explain about the type conversion concept in Python programming language. Today our hot topic is type conversion. Actually, why we need to use the type conversion in our program? Sometimes it is also must be required because of data types. Data types can store some values. No? Why we need to mention the data types in the programming? Why we have to use data types? To allocate some memory for that particular created variable. Am I correct or not? That variables have to store some values. That variables have to store some values. So that value is actually we have stored some declared format, but sometimes I want to change the data type format also. So for that, type conversion is must and should be required. With practically I will show here. So now let us start our session. Okay. Now the concept is type conversion. What is type conversion? Explain the types of conversions. First, we have to know about the definition of type conversion concept. Type conversion, the process of converting the value of one data type. The process of converting the value of one data type. Nothing but integer, string, float. These all are data types. These all are data types. What is that line actually? The process of converting the value of one data type. How to declare the value here in Python programming language? For that I am saving. For that I am opening Paint window to explain very briefly for your understanding purpose. Okay. Actually, okay, x equal to 10. So here 10 is the value. Here 10 is the value, x is the variable. Why we need the variable here? To store any one value, to store any of the value. So here my requirement is I want to store 10 value into x variable. For that x variable I declare I want to store 10 value. To store 10 value to store 10 value I need one variable also. So that's why I have declared x variable. So if we store 10 value, the x variable data type is what? This is digit now. So internally the interpreter can assign only integer data type. Only integer data type. Because of here I stored 10 value. 10 is what value? It is number format. If it is string format, internally it can assign string data type. But this is the 10 value without fractions. That's why it is assigned only integer data type for the x variable. So the x variable data type is x. So now understand now what is data type, what is variable, what is value. So here x is the variable, 10 is the value. Here x is the variable, 10 is the value. Internally the interpreter while executing time for the x variable into data type it will assign. Because of here I stored 10 value. It is digit format. It is digit format. That nothing but a number format. If it is alphabet, the interpreter internally what? It can assign string data type. So here my requirement is I want to store 10 value. For that x variable I declared. X variable internally, the interpreter internally assign the data type into data type for the x variable. Now understand now what is data type, what is variable, what is value. So here x is the variable, 10 is the value, internally assigned into data type. Because of here I stored 10 number. Because of that reason, internally interpreter it can assign the into data type. So the process of converting the value of one data type. Here data type is nothing but integer, string, float, etc. One data type to another data type is called a type conversion. One data type to another data type conversion is called type conversion. What is the definition? Type conversion means the process of converting one data type to another data type. The process of converting one data type to another data type. Conversion is called type conversion. Nothing but string to string to int, and also int to string. So like that, here string is the data type, int also one of the data type. If you want to convert string data type to int data type, that process is called type conversion. Like that, int data type to string data type conversion is called type conversion. But here number of data types we have: string, int, float, all those things are data type. According to our requirement, we have to convert. According to our requirement, we have to convert. So that entire process is called type conversion. That entire process is called type conversion. Now understand the definition. Next, type conversion is also called typecasting. Already you have learnt about this typecasting in C programming language. I mean, in the previous semester you have learnt this. You have learnt this. Typecasting is also called type conversion, and also type conversion is also called typecasting. Python has two types of type conversions. Python has two types of type conversions. They are, first one is implicit type conversion and second one explicit type conversion. There are two types of conversion. First one is implicit type conversion. Second one is explicit type conversion. First we have to know about the implicit type conversion. After that, next explicit type conversion we have to know. So now let us understand about the implicit type conversion. What is the meaning of implicit type conversion here? It is converting lower data type to higher data type. Lower data type to higher data type without losing any data is called implicit type conversion. Without losing any data is called implicit type conversion. Now practically I will explain. Don't worry about this. First understand about the implicit type conversion. What is that meaning? It is converting lower data type to higher data type without losing any data is called implicit type conversion. Is called implicit conversion. Here I given one example. All of you look at the screen. X is equal to 125. X is equal to 125. Now the data type is what? Here 125 is what? It is completely related to digits without any fraction part. I mean nothing but without any point values. Here we don't have any point values. Directly we can assign 125 number to x variable. So 125 is also a number. So the x variable data type is int data type. If you assign a fraction part, nothing but a point values, if you assign along with that value, then that variable data type is float data type. That variable data type is float data type. The variable data type is float data type. Here I assign two values. All of you carefully observe. The first one is int data type and second one is float data type. Here now I want to do addition operation, x plus y. One integer data type and also one float data type. One integer data type and one float data type. Here I am assigning. What you will get the result here? I mean z is, after evaluation of x plus y, after evaluation of this expression, we will get some result. That result I want to store in z variable. So now all of you carefully observe. Now what is the data type about the z variable? Here for the z variable, internally interpreter what data type it will assign for that z variable. All of you carefully observe. Value of z is equal to z. Z value it will print. But that data, if you want to know about the data type for that variable, which type of function we have to use? Type function. Type function will return the variable data type. Practically I will explain. For that I am opening IDLE shell window, Python shell window, this one. X is equal to 125. Now I want to know about this data type. I want to know about this data type. So that's for, if you want to know about the data type for any variable, for that inbuilt function, I mean built-in function available along with Python software. Just we can use that by a predefined function. and also pass that variable as a argument. As a argument. Here type is a function. In that I am passing x variable as a argument. Argument laga x variable pass చేస్తున్నాను. The type function will return the data type, x variable data type. Because of x variable I pass it na, for this variable which data type internally it can assign it by the interpreter. So that data type it will represent again for us. Carefully observe. Now I press the enter. What it is showing? Int data type na class int. So x variable data type is int. Now we have a clear awareness about the x variable. Again I want to store fraction part value 125.50. Here I am maintaining 0.50 also. So now what is the data type of y variable? All of you, anyone can think about this. Here I assign it for the y variable, assign it the value 125.50 to the y variable. So y variable value is what? 125.50. So here I am maintaining 0.50 also. Nothing but a fraction part I am maintaining. Point values I am using here. So if I want to use point values, the data type is float. The data type internally the interpreter assigned for the y variable is float data type. If you want to know, then use same predefined function. Then it will return the data type. Instead of x, here I am passing y variable. Because of for that y variable I want to know about the data type. For that I am using inbuilt function. Built-in function for the y variable. Again I am pressing enter key. All of you carefully observe. Now y variable data type is what? Float data type. Y variable data type is float data type. Here x variable data type is int, y variable data type is float. So these two values I want to do addition operation for these two variables. For that I am declaring z variable. Z is equal x plus y. Z is equal x plus y. All of you carefully observe. Here x is one type of data type and y is one more type of data type. This is maintaining only numbers without fractions. This is maintaining with fractions. The first x variable is without fractions and y variable is with fractions. So the how much result it will get and how much value it will assign to the z variable. Now we can understand. Here I want to do addition operation and pressing the enter key from the keyboard. Now for the type variable I am using to know the z data type. First I want to know about the result z. So z value is what? 250.5. 250.5. So z variable is also maintaining float values. So z variable data type is also float. Here we clearly understand na? Z variable, if any variable maintaining fraction part, the data type is related to float data type. If you have any doubt, then check by using type function. Z I am passing as an argument in the type function. Again I am pressing enter key. Now all of you carefully observe. Float data type it is showing na. That means it is implicit casting. It is implicit casting without losing any data. If I want to store with fractions and without fractions, after evaluation it will get na. After calculation of this part, after calculation of this expression, we will get some result. Nothing but here we will get 250.5. So this entire results assign it to z variable na. So then after that z variable data type it will decide. After that z variable data type already has decided by the fraction part. So this is also related to float data type. Now you can understand na. That means here we haven't lost any data if we assign one int type variable and one float type of variable. So first it will give the large data type priority. First we have the priority for the large data type. Here which is the large data type? First one is int, second one is float. So float values float data type contain extra functionality. Float data type contain extra functionality compared to integer data type. So int data type functionality is what? It is maintaining only integers without fractions. Nothing but some part of float data type. some part of float data type. And y variable is also maintaining int part, I mean this part also, and also along with that 0.50, I mean this fraction part is also it is maintaining. So because of that reason it is a biggest data type compared to int data type. Float data type is big data type compared to int data type. So if we evaluate, if you evaluate this expression, you will get fraction part value also. So that expression will assign to the z variable. Then interpreter will decide what is the data type about the z variable. So z variable, interpreter internally assign float data type for the z variable. So like that data types it will assign. Here observe, implicit typecasting means it is converting lower data type to higher data type without losing any data. Is called implicit type conversion. Is called implicit type conversion. And one more example I am showing. All of you carefully observe. Ideally, x is equal. Here I am maintaining 10 value. Here I am maintaining 10 value. Now all of you carefully observe. Type x. Now it will get the int data type. Actually, what purpose we can use type inbuilt function? It is a predefined function to know about the data type. To know about the data type. After that, same value I am assigning for the y variable also with the fractions. So same variable I am using, but same value assigning with the fractions. All of you carefully observe. Type x variable I am using. Again it is showing float data type na. It is converting the same value. It is converting the same value. It is converting from int to float also. So here without losing any data it is maintaining, and extra data also it has added. This fraction part also I added na, like that. X is equal 10.50. 10.50. Sorry. One more example I am showing for that, for your understanding clearly purpose. For your understanding very clearly. X is 10. X is 10. Y is equal 10.50. So now the data type is type of x, type of y. So both data types, first one is int, second one is float, because of it is maintaining fraction part. So that's why it is called float data type. Internally the interpreter can assign float data type. Now I am using y is equal, actually y contain what data type? Float data type. So y is equal to x I am using. Y is equal to x. So x value is what? 10. Na? X value is 10. Now again I want to know about the y variable data type. It is converting na? It is converting. So here fraction part we lost. Because of int data type it is not maintaining fraction part. That's why it is not maintaining fraction part. So this type of conversion is called automatic conversion. We no need to use any operators also. Any typecasting operators we no need to use. Implicit casting means it is converting lower data type to higher data type without losing any data, is called implicit typecasting. And this type of casting is also done by the interpreter directly without our interference. Just we can assign the value and just we can assign the variable. In this conversion, developer does not use any casting operator. This process automatically done by the Python interpreter. This process automatically done by the Python interpreter. So that entire process is called implicit type conversion. ఇక్కడ మనం ఏమీ ఆపరేటర్స్ యూజ్ చేయాల్సిన పని లేదు. ఫ్లోట్ వాల్యూస్ని డైరెక్ట్గా ఈజీగా కన్వర్ట్ చేయొచ్చు. ఎక్స్ వాల్యూని వైకి అసైన్ చేయొచ్చు, వై వాల్యూని ఎక్స్కి అసైన్ చేయొచ్చు. అర్థమైందా? బట్ internally it can assign data type also. If you want to maintain fraction parties also, then you need to assign that related float data type also, that related float data type variable. If you don't want to maintain fraction part, then simply you can assign int data type variable. So that is the meaning of implicit type conversion. Next, explicit type conversion. The higher data type to lower data type conversion is called explicit type conversion. Reverse process. Here string is the reverse process. All of you carefully observe. Int is the small data type to converting big data type, float data type. So this entire process is done by the interpreter. We no need to assign, we no need to declare anything also. So that this is called implicit casting. Now I want to explain about the explicit casting. That means the higher data type to lower data type conversion is called explicit type casting. Explicit type conversion. We use the predefined function like int, float, string, etc. to perform explicit type conversion. To perform explicit type conversion, we use predefined functions like int function, float function, string function. Where we have to use this type of conversion is also called typecasting, because the user change data type objects. How we can use? We can simply use this one. You can simply understand. For that I am opening ideally window again. For your understanding purpose, clearly I will show. Okay, now I want to collect input. I want to do some mathematical operation. For that, x variable input of x variable I want to collect through the keyboard. Directly we haven't assigned. Any value it will take, any value it will assign, any value it will do the mathematical operation by using input function. If you use the input function, you have a chance to collect input through the keyboard. For that I am using x is equal input of, here I am using enter x value, so it is asking it is allowing to give a input, to collect the input by the user. X value means here I am using 200. Same value y equal to input, same process again I am doing enter y value, again it is asking enter y value, so 500 I am assigning. So now x value is 200, y value is 500, now z variable I declared x plus y. Here I want to do addition operation. What is the result we will get right now? Anyone can guess here? If this expression evaluates, the result what you will get, x value is 200, y value is 500. After that this entire expression will get some result. That result will assign to the z variable. Anyone can guess what is the output we will get here? Now I am pressing enter. All of you carefully observe. Z value I am printing. All of you carefully observe. 200, 500. Is that right answer? Is that right output? No. Because of 200 plus 500, the result is 700. Why it is showing here? Because of input function internally collect the input as a string format. So that's why side by side it will assign. అంటే ఒక స్ట్రింగ్ కి ఇంకొక స్ట్రింగ్ ని అసైన్ చేసింది ఇక్కడ. బికాస్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్పుట్ ఫంక్షన్ ఇంటర్నల్ ఫంక్షనాలిటీ ఇస్ వాట్? ఇట్ ఈస్ కలెక్టింగ్ ద ఇన్పుట్ ఫ్రమ్ ద కీబోర్డ్ యాజ్ ఎ స్ట్రింగ్ ఫార్మాట్. హౌ we can assign the string? For example, surname and our name, our surname and also our name. How it will assign both strings side by side na? Like that these two strings also it will assign side by side. All of you carefully observe. Side by side 200 and 500. So here my requirement is I want to do mathematical addition operation. So for that, here I am converting, here I am using predefined function. Above, the same entire process is going on. Here x is equal to input x value, y is equal to input enter y value, after that z value, z is equal to x plus y. Same expression I am using, all of you carefully observe. X is equal to, I want to convert string to int data type. So for that int function, predefined int function. Here all of you carefully observe. In the material it is showing now. We use the predefined functions like int of, float of, string of, etc. to perform explicit type conversion. If you want to do explicit type conversion, compulsory we need to use these predefined functions. So for that, here the string format to, I want to converting the string format to int format. For that int predefined function I am using. Inside int function I am writing input function again. Here I am converting enter x value, enter x value, and one more bracket I am closing because of this bracket is related to first bracket. This is input function, first opening and closing, and after that int function opening, end of the statement it is closing, end bracket also it is converting. So int function functionality is what? It is converting string to int format. Here int of is the casting operator. Int function is the casting operator. Now I am entering same value 200. Same function for the y variable I am using int of. Inside int of function, input function again I am using to collect input from the keyboard. Enter y value, closing quotes. So 500 I am giving the input. So 200 plus 500. Now z is equal to x plus y. So addition operation completed. The value of result it is assigned to the z variable. Now I am using z value to print result. All of you carefully observe. If you want to do any mathematical operation after collecting some inputs, compulsory we need to convert. We need to convert string data type to int data type, because of if you want to collect any input from the keyboard, compulsory we need to use input function. So input function internally it is taking as a string format. So if you collect the strings, if you have collected strings, we no need to do any mathematical operation. If you want to do any mathematical operation by with the numbers, compulsory casting operator, int type casting operator, float type casting operator we have to use. We have to use this type of predefined functions. So this predefined function is called a casting operator. For explicit type conversion, we can use this predefined int function, float function, string function we can use. So this type of conversion is called explicit type conversion. Explicit type conversion. That example also here I given one more example for your understanding purpose. Here I given one more example for your understanding purpose. All of you carefully read this entire program and do the practice. Then only you will get this result. Otherwise, as a string format, basic salary plus TA plus DA. If you don't want to use this predefined functions, predefined casting functions, int of, float of, if you don't want to use, then side by side it will print. Here mathematical operation will not do by the interpreter. If you want to do any mathematical operation on any numbers, on any collected input numbers, on any numbers collected by the input function, so compulsory we need to use the casting operator. Here my casting operator is according to given example float operator, float function. But the previous example I shown in the practically, in the diagrammatically, sorry, and this is this interactive window it is showing now. For that x value purpose it is collecting as a string format, 200 as a string. So after that it is taking input function, it is converting string to int data type. So this entire process is called explicit typecasting. So now the typecasting concept is also over. The typecasting concept is also over. I hope you understand about this session, and in the next session we will discuss about the expressions concept. What is an expression? What is an associative rule? How we can use the associative rule in the expressions? It is also very simple concept. Don't fear about all those things about the syllabus. Each and everything has a simple concept. Just we should concentrate and understand. But without practice, we can't. Without practice, we can't understand anything in the programming language. Just you have simply installed the software in your computer. After that, simply we can do the practice by given examples. Then only you can understand. If you have any doubts, then in the live class we will discuss about all your doubts. I will clarify everything in the live class. Okay, today I am going to ending this session. Thank you very much.